So actress Julia Roberts is mostly known for her role in Pretty Woman, but in 2025, I like to refer to her as Petty Woman based on her recent behavior toward the general public when it comes down to her overall ideology, her agenda, her political beliefs that are forced onto society essentially, and it truly backfired on her career, especially after engaging in that wildly viral, and negatively so, by the way, commercial about lying to your spouse, either your husband or wife, about who you voted for in 2024. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, there's been a lot of things going on right now. A lot of wild reports circulating involving both Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston about them supposedly engaging in this affair, if you will, and how a divorce is on the horizon between both Obama and Michelle. This is an ongoing scenario happening from leaked DMs from Jennifer Aniston's inner social circle, by the way, just to kind of give you a little bit of a roundup of what's been going on there. But what's interesting here has a lot to do with Julia Roberts and her behavior toward this story, toward all the backlash going against both Jennifer and Obama based on these reports and based on these stories. But what's interesting about this moving onwards is that Julia Roberts always likes to drag in other elements of politics about her own issues with the public into another existing story, and this is where it really gets out of control. So let's get into this, shall we? Now, one thing about Julia Roberts is that we know that she's very bitter now in 2025 after losing various roles with other studios out there within the Hollywood bubble, within the film industry. However, with the entire woke media and now Hollywood in financial ruin, and dealing with both ratings disasters and box office failures, one monumental development going on now involves more to do with Julia Roberts and her response to the ongoing reports of the Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston affair. The story of that has been circulating that forced Aniston to turn off comments on her Instagram. And yes, by the way, that did happen. Julia delivered the following. I think this is the greatest example of just how uneducated our American citizens truly are, that they would fail for such a story about Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston having an affair. The fact that they would fall for that is a true failure. Look, I know Jen very, very well, and there is no way in hell she would ever jeopardize her own reputation, as well as the marriage between both Michelle and Barack. There is just no way, and it's living proof, that social media is the greatest danger in this country. This is exactly why X, run by Elon Musk, needs to be silenced. Don't fall for this nonsense that's floating around out there. It is nothing more than a false narrative to embarrass the Democratic Party. That's all what it boils down to. This is Jen and Barack's story that has been going around is nothing more than a mind game from conservatives to throw them off guard. It's a distraction, and it's pathetic and childish at that. There is just no way in hell Jennifer would ever do such a thing. I don't care what her inner social circle or those within it claim. It is nothing more than a childish move to embarrass our entire party. I just think conservatives are frightened of women so much to the point that they have to resort to something like this to not just embarrass Jennifer Aniston, but to also humiliate Michelle Obama, who doesn't deserve this at all. All of the divorce stories you have been hearing is utter nonsense, and I won't stand for it. It will continue, and I will continue to call out the moves by the right that are making, of course, right now in the news to ensure that we never hold another victory or to tarnish Obama's legacy, because that's what it's all about. The public always likes to criticize Jennifer Aniston, and wrongfully so, I might add. So guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing about, Julia Roberts, is that she's obviously dragging a lot of politics into this quote-unquote report/story, and whether or not it's true, we'll have to find out over time. And whether or not the divorce ultimately happens between Obama and Michelle, I think will be the big piece to the puzzle on whether or not this whole Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama thing is valid. So look out for that on the horizon, as she pointed out. Now, we know that Julia Roberts, alright, really believes that this is all a mind game, quote-unquote, coming from conservatives, coming from the right, to distract the Democratic Party. Look, this is that's not exactly what it is at all. This is all stemming from leaked DMs coming from Jennifer Aniston's inner social circle that went wildly viral to the point where Aniston had to shut off her Instagram comments, so if you go on there, as of at least 3 days ago, you cannot make an existing comment. You can see previous comments, but you can't make a new one. That's basically how it is right now. So, the other thing is that she was also on Jimmy Kimmel Live a couple of months ago, where this actual thing popped up in magazines, and he was questioning her about that, and even when she had the question about that, she actually looked very awkward on television. There was something very off about Jennifer Aniston having to explain about those reports. I believe it was back in October. Now, she goes on to conclude, "The public always likes to criticize Aniston, and wrongfully so. She is a very talented, strong woman who knows better to trust her inner circle of who she tells certain things about. So I ask everyone to not fall for the divorce rumors or the reports of Obama and Jennifer Aniston engaging in an affair. Because this is all pure lunacy coming from the right. I will never believe for 1 second that Barack would ever put something like that into risk for his legacy or for the entire Democratic Party, and people who even believe this is remotely true are foolish. The same people that believe this are the same individuals that believe that DEI needs to be abolished in entertainment and through the entire government, and it's a living example of just how awful President Donald Trump has been running the country for the past 7 or so days. It truly is a terrible time to live as an actress in this industry, and I feel for Jennifer." So, again, I mean, this is another, moment where we have Julia Roberts really getting very angry and very bitter about Obama getting all this backlash from even loyal followers of him, from loyal supporters of him, by the way. And look, you can, support Obama, you can be against Obama all you like, and whether or not this whole Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama thing is true, we will find out ultimately in time, I believe. I really do believe that. Once you see whether or not a divorce happens between both Michelle and Obama, that is going to be a big piece to the puzzle there, and then the next thing will follow involving Jennifer Aniston. Now look, we know that Julia Roberts gets so bent out of shape about this. We know a lot of celebrities are getting bent out of shape about this ongoing report, either against Obama or for Obama. We have a lot of celebrities out there expressing different opinions. But Julia Roberts, I think, really is the top here, because she is the very one that really got way too involved in politics when it came down to her career, right? She's an actress, do your job and act, and that's it, period, the end. This is exactly why I think a lot of these actors and actresses need to just call it quits. They need to stay out of politics, or just, shut their business down as an actress or actor and stay out of it. So that's another example. The other thing is this, is that we also know that at the end of the day, Jennifer Aniston is acting very odd lately. She's being very, evasive from any questions, and that's another very big hint out there. So whether or not this will come to fruition, this whole, valid point of the story, we'll have to wait and see if it does end up being valid. But again, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about Julia Roberts getting so bent out of shape about this whole Barack Obama backlash and everything else happening with Jennifer Aniston right now. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.